Hi everyone and welcome back to domainacademy.com. Today I'm going to show you some tips and tricks and some tools that I use through Domain Academy, and I was also inspired by Drew Rosener on Domain Sherpa, where he mentioned that he had hand-regged some names, and I wanted to compile a list and find some names to hand-reg, and I'll show you how I found them and what I did so that I can hopefully try and catch back up on the Domain Academy podcast contest. Without further ado, I want to show you how to get to the bulk registration lookup. It's very easy. We put a new link in here. You click on the homepage on domains and go to GoDaddy bulk lookup, and I will show you how you compile a list. One of the ways that I did that, .app has been hot. Maybe you saw Prism.app sold for over $100,000 recently. There's been a lot of .app sales and a lot of hype about app maybe being a new TLD to watch this year. So I wanted to try and find a list of names that I could go look up and see if there were any available for hand reg. The prompt that I said that I put in here was, I want to find domains in app, hand reg, 5 characters or less pronounceable names, and then I also changed it to some brandables later on. I will put the final prompt in the description as well, and you can see that ChatGPT gave me a list. After some fighting back and forth, I eventually got a longer, cleaner list, and I was able to take this list and put it into the bulk search. I will show you how quick and easy this domain name bulk search works. You need to be signed in to do over 500 names. So you can see what's available. It's available at high price, premium names, and what's unavailable. I played around with this. I used the brandables, and just to save some time, I'll jump to the fact that I was able to find brainfreeze.app. After playing around with that prompt with ChatGPT and going back and forth on the GoDaddy bulk search, I found these 16 names were available for sale. And so what I did was I used the domainacademy.com/tools lookup domain explorer tool. You can see domainacademy.com/tools. We have all of our tools. I used several in this, actually. I used the domain explorer lookup tool, and I took the root word. What I wound up buying was brain freeze. And I looked it up here, and you can see that there's 58 TLDs taken for brain freeze and 260 other ones. Now, that's not a ton, but as I look down, you could see that most of them, brain freeze show / studio trivia, you could see that there are a lot that could benefit from shortening their names, right? There's a ton. And you can also see things like this, brain freeze app, brain freeze apps. And we have brain freeze app available. So I looked through that and I compiled that list on Excel just to save me some time. And this is the exact match that's taken, and this is the ancillary using the keyword. And I picked out of this 16 brain freeze to pursue. I also looked on our research tool. I tried to see if there were any companies. There are companies that are using brain freeze. There are in the tech space, and it seems like also a cool brand for an app. Once I was able to do that, I hand-regged the name, and it was $13, I believe, for me to get that name. Then I thought to myself, .ai. Well, there's a lot of synergy between .ai and .app, and as far as they're both in the tech space. So I thought, well, let's take a look at the .ai names that sold. If you're not a member of NameBio, I highly suggest that you join. So what I did was I went to extensions, typed in AI, and then I went to date range, and I did this past year, and that's going to bring up anything in the last year that's sold. And then I just hit search. Takes a minute. I'm not going to show you because I don't know what their terms are on sharing data, but I will show you these at least. These are the names that were sold. They also gave me the price and the date and the venue. So I just took the names. I used this data manipulation tool, and what I did with that was I cleaned off the AI ending and added .app to the ending, and then I was able to take that and put that into our bulk search here, and I compiled them both into this list. And then I looked up on the Domain Explorer tool that we have to find out what was most likely to be a good one, like this mydub.app. Even though my dub.ai may have sold 3 extensions taken, is not very good. So that, and Converix, these ones I just automatically nixed, right? Intercode looked like one that I wanted to look at a little more. Wasn't great, but you get the idea. What we're looking at is what's their use in commerce. Are we reinventing the wheel, or are these names that other people have bought over the years and will continue to buy because they're good brands, right? Well, that's what I did. I took a look using our different tools. I used the AI model. Then I used our tool for data manipulation to change the endings. I used name bio to be able to check for sales history on .ai. I cleaned that up again and ran it back through with .app as the extension. And then I was able to use the Domain Explorer tool and figure out, are there potential buyers for this? I also, on the one that I wound up using, I ran the research snapshot. It tells me if there's any startups that are using the name, if there's any other ones like BrainFreeze that are for sale. If there are, let's say there's BrainFreeze.io and .xyz, and they're available for $300 for sale in the aftermarket, then maybe it's not a great idea for me to buy the app version, right? Because how much money am I going to be able to sell that for with a lot of competition out there? So I want to look for limited competition with this. This helps with how much lookups there are in Google. So there's a myriad of information that we provide through Domain Academy. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and share with your friends so that we can grow. Thanks for checking us out at domainacademy.com.